Greetings here. I thought I would film from a relatively quiet corner of the Evergreen Air and Space Museum here in Oregon, the infamous, famous Spruce Goose. I don't know if I'm going to get to go inside here or how crowded it will be or if I'll be able to film, but here it is. Alright, it's a little dark to film inside the Spruce Goose, but I thought it was interesting to see just the setup here. It's one wing, one fuselage. The mounting they have to have it in here. I kind of wondered about that. It had to have been big to get it in here and hangar it. Some of the models of the original construction. Very cool. If I can get out here and get the whole thing in again. Pretty good sized. Alright, I came up here to the second level to just try to get a little bigger pan to try to get the whole aircraft in the frame here at the Evergreen Air and Space. See, walking around to the wingtip here, and we'll go down the other side. There's a Pitts S2B. And let's go up around here. There, you can get the entire front end in as well. Very cool. Interesting here at the Evergreen Aviation Space Museum, there's also a solar system walk, although it's a very tiny scale. It's like from here out to that building. I don't think they have Pluto in it, but they do have the Sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars on a very short, like 3 or 4 meter scale, and then it goes up to the main building. This is kind of cool. They got a, and I'll film this while there's nobody in here, a model of the Spirit and or Opportunity rover. I'd always heard that too, that they're actually bigger than you would think when you see them up close. Yeah, this one stands about 4.5 feet tall, so it's pretty good size. Some interesting finds here at the Evergreen Air and Space. There is an original Swarovski helicopter used for the retrieval of the Apollo module. That is a replica of the Apollo command module right there. And there's also a replica of the Apollo 11 lander. One thing I thought that was kind of interesting was this transition module used for the Apollo-Soyuz project back in '76. This is a trainer they used on the ground. Not the original, because the original got jettisoned and burned up in the atmosphere, but it was kind of nifty they have this here. Let's see what other interesting finds I can scout out here. Now this is a very cool find. I'm not talking about the F-4 over here. This is a baker-nunn satellite tracking camera. Circa 1960s most likely. You get the whole thing in here. I've written about these so many times that they used to be classified and they used for tracking satellites. I was like, no way they actually got an operational one here. Well, formerly operational. This would make an ultimate home telescope, I'm just saying. Very cool little setup. That's an awesome mount on that. Find at the Evergreen Air and Space Museum. This is a 104 Starfighter that has authentic NASA 1960s markings on it. That's kind of cool. You can see the big blue meatball on the side. Kind of nifty. Alright, there's an interesting trio of things right here. This is an X-38 mock-up NASA crew return vehicle from the ISS. It's never been tested or built yet, but there's also the mock-up of the Soviet Vega spacecraft that made the rendezvous with Halley's Comet. And here is a MiG done up in, and I guess this was actually the actual one. This was used in aggressor training. It started its life in the Polish Air Force and was bought off by a Texas private investor and did off its days at Nellis Air Force Base in the Aggressor Squadron. That's why I wondered why it has the Major Smoky Sundell, the U.S. markings on the side of the canopy. That's why. Interesting.